Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the Living World of Darkness Rage Across New York. We find ourselves in the middle of the Sept of the Green. In the Umbra, a certain Black Fury, Cleith, is making her bid for Foster. Her challenge from the Master of Challenge Contemplates the Mercy was several-fold. The first was to stand guard within the Sept for 7 days without sleep. She is on day 3 and looking fairly out of sorts. Her hair long and greasy, unkempt. Her clothes looking, wrinkled. Collar is a little bit stretched out, things of that nature. Her eyes are dark with circles underneath, looking quite a few years older than she normally would look. She was also told that she had to learn spirit speech in that time and accept any challenge brought forth to her in the Sept. She walks around with a blank look on her face as she tries to put her head in the right mind frame, feeling the lull of sleep coming to her, how easy it would be just to find one of those little glens and rest herself in it and take a nap. But she fights on, pumping herself up, repeating a mantra in Greek in her head, one that her mother used to have her say when they were training many years ago. As we begin this scene, she's currently walking by the shrine of Mira, the water spirit, one of the dual totem spirits of the Sept.
She'll see a flurry of colour as May walks into her line of sight. She's wearing a long green skirt and matching top. It's very sort of hippie and flowing in its design. And the colour contrasting her red hair catches in the light as she walks slowly towards Callie with her bare feet touching the ground. She seems to be smiling.
Callie will offer a similar smile, though it looks wary, as her eyes are slightly glazed, as she immediately diverts her path and walks towards May with a smile. Oh, hi May. How are you?
May smiles quite brightly and holds out one of those takeaway cups, like coffee cups, and also a little parcel just wrapped up in brown paper. I brought you some tea and some of these like flapjack things. They're good for energy and refreshing. Thought you might need it.
Callie's expression turns into one of gratitude as she gently hugs May and then immediately takes to the tea, regardless of how hot it is.
It's not scalding hot, but it is hot enough, and you can tell from the smell of it. It's home brewed with herbs and how you make chamomile tea with all those little components, and it's smells sort of fresh and herbally, but good at the same time.
Callie seems to appreciate the medley and the bouquet of aromas and tastes in her mouth as she just does close her eyes for a moment and take a long breath in and then out. That's really good.
So how are you doing? She sits on the floor next to where Callie is standing, like sort of cross-legged, and looks up at her with an almost like childlike expression of of happiness on her face.
Kelly doesn't sit down. She just finds something to lean against, a post or a tree or something of that sort, and she looks down at May. Well, I can tell you, I've been better. Very, very tired. And I still have more than 3 days left to go.
You may be doubting yourself, but I know you have the strength within you to complete this task.
I'm sure I do. But I've never stayed up for 7 days straight before, not even when I was in high school. So we'll see where this goes. On a plus side, though, I am finally past my bout of Hirano. No longer in that sad, depressive state, all things considered.
That's good.
But enough about me. How have you been?
Well, you know, same old, same old. I've been keeping myself to myself, doing some reading, making tea, planting my garden.
Yeah, the garden back at my place is hopefully being tended to by my dad while I'm gone.
I've had an interesting time of coming here, and I think soon enough it will be prevalent that I join one of these packs. I can't stay on the outside for much longer.
Being a lone wolf's tough. I've been one for close to 8 months now, since I came back from Greece. It tries on you and it wears on you.
I feel the calling of the mother just to help and aid and give into the sept. And I don't feel I can do that on the outside, and so it's time for me to step through.
Kelly will smile. Well, not to sound too self-indulgent or too self-interested, I am working with a young man by the name of Heinrich to try and form a pack.
Oh, she raises an eyebrow.
He's a get. On the outside, he's a stereotypical get. But on the inside, after observing him for a bit, I realized that everything, all the airs he puts on, the routine that he takes on, it's just a front. He's actually fairly intellectual once you sit down and talk with him.
We all have different masks we wear. But the important thing is that we can come together in unity here and work together to the betterment of society as a whole.
That is true. That is definitely true. All the same, May, if you wish it, you could join with me and Heinrich. I already have a totem that we could share, Chameleon.
I do like the chameleon.
He's a pretty good guy. I've been holding his gift of sight for quite a while now, and it's very nice, I have to say.
I do feel that she thinks for a moment, trying to think of the right word, but settles on the one she comes up with because it seems the most appropriate. But your spirit calls to me quite strongly for aid, and therefore I would be compelled to honour your request.
Callie will just smile and actually come to sit down by May, risking falling asleep, but all the same smiling as she just sits there and sort of just glows with happiness.
May opens the package and there's these little flapjack things in them, and she picks one up and she presses it to her lips and takes an inhalation of it. Oh yes, good. I thought I might have brought the space ones by mistake.
Callie will chuckle slightly as she takes one up.
These are safe, don't worry. She grins.
This is a really nice birthday present, she says with a very sly grin.
It's your birthday?
Yeah, April 23rd.
Well, when you get out of this, we'll throw a party.
Oh, I figure my dad's probably going to be losing his mind that I'm not there. But I'm sure he'll understand. This is a big opportunity for me.
Mm.
And she'll take a bite out of the flapjack.
It's good. May's a good cook.
That's good, because Callie's not. Callie bites into it, her eyes go a bit wide. And she just looks at May. These are really good.
Well, when you live on your own for so long, you get used to making these things, you know. I like to keep myself busy.
I can make salad. That's about it. So, my spirit calls out to you, but, I mean, what do you need? I mean, as far as training or understanding or anything, really?
I feel that I need to be more in touch with spirits and the totems, and do some more learning there, and learn how to fit in and contribute to a pack. It's not something I've really done before. I've always tried to keep myself separate, and give myself to human society, but it doesn't quite scratch the itch, you know.
After a while, we start to feel the need of our other sides, the side of the wolf and the side of the spirit within us, and we get drawn to it. We can try and deny it and force ourselves to live as one and not the other. Eventually, the spirits get angry with you, and you start to take losses in renown. So don't look at it as this calling that you hear as a bad thing. It's actually exactly what Gaia puts in place so we don't really forget that we're multifaceted beings.
I'm sure my mother would be cursing me. Last time she called me, she was pestering about why I wasn't married yet and having children, all this other stuff.
I'm sure if my mom were still around, she might be saying the same thing.
Biological clock is ticking and all that. But I don't know. That's not really the right time for that right now.
No, my mom does admit that she probably had me in haste. She was 16 when she got pregnant with me. Only 17 when she had my sister.
So the time is right, I think. When you can get hold of this Heinrich, we will have a little meeting, the three of us. And after you've had appropriate rest, she grins.
Yeah,
And we'll talk about all the things that we want to come to pass.
sounds good, she says with a smile.
For now, no, you must focus your energy on completing your task.
Callie smiles and starts to move to stand up, but she stops for a moment and then grabs one of the bracelets on her wrist and pulls it off, one of many. And she hands it over to May.
May takes it.
We used to make these all the time as kids back in my sept in Colorado. Just friendship brands that we wore amongst the tribe and the other tribes that were there. This one was given to me by a girl named Meg. Meg was a good friend of mine, my best friend actually. She passed away with my mother on my night of my rite of fire, so to speak. Me becoming a Cleith, rite of passage.
You see a look of, not quite shock, but sort of the impact of what you've just said, and sadness and depth in May's face. Her normally sunny expression changes for a moment. She looks at the bracelet. I you sure you want me to have it?
I've met a lot of people in this sept, but you're the only one that hasn't generalized about me. You're the only one that hasn't called me an angry feminist or lesbian since I got here.
You get sort of a toothy grin. She goes, oh, well. I'm pretty sure I've been called those things too. As inaccurate or accurate as they might have been at the time. But...
But the big thing is that you approached me, and that doesn't really happen a lot, even within Garu society for an Arun. So, Meg would find it fitting, I'm sure, me giving it to you now.
She pulls up her sleeve and ties it around her wrist securely before reaching out and, if she's able to, will gently cup Callie's face and kiss her on the forehead.
Callie just gives a sad smile, but one that engenders genuine appreciation.
I'll come back and make sure you're doing okay, and when this is all done, we'll have quite the interesting party.
Sounds like fun.
She wraps the rest of the flapjacks up and sort of leaves them on a nearby surface.
Callie will take them and put them into her pocket, just to be safe, knowing that Heinrich is around somewhere and confections don't last long around him. You can probably find me. I go in and out of the Umbra when the sun comes up and goes down. So I usually spend about anywhere from an hour to 2 in the actual real world. So
Our paths will cross when the time is right.
yep. If you happen to see me in Krenos in the Umbra, just look for the only Krenos in the Sept with tuft ears. Quirk of my family. We all seem to get it at one point or another.
She gives you a sort of thoughtful look before smiling and turning on her heel a little bit. I'll see you soon.
Callie nods. Look forward to it.
And she starts to walk away back in the direction she came.
Callie will take a deep breath and then begin to continue her rounds, walking the path she's walked well over 100 times in the past 3 days. And I think there we can end the scene.